Is a CNN News 18 exclusive that we are bringing you right now. This is related to the Taliban and Pakistan. And this exclusive news break, again, we're learning that the Taliban is upset with Pakistan. Zabihullah Mujahid had attacked Pakistan government's statement of Afghanistan soil being used for attacks in Pakistan. Now, in a statement, Zabihullah had said that we have always maintained that Afghanistan soil will not be used for attacking Pakistan. Why has terrorism only increased in Pakistan? The country should look for answers inside of its own borders. A particularly important statement there, saying that the country should look for answers inside of its own borders. Now, Mujahid also said, adding that Pakistan's security forces and intelligence agencies were utilizing a large amount of its budget in order to secure their country. They should not blame Afghanistan for their shortcomings. This is what the statement reads. Now, the statement also says that 18 Islamic State militants who were killed and their identities were proven that they were from Pakistan. There's a quote also saying, "We did not point our fingers at anyone and we continue to secure our own country. Not allowing our soil to be used against our country does not mean that we are responsible for what happens in other countries." Now we're crossing over to CNN News 18's Anand Narasimhan to get us more on this. Anand, over to you.
Morning, Aisha, and morning to all our viewers. This is after Mullah Yaqub, perhaps the strongest statement that has come from the Taliban government or the Taliban establishment against Pakistan, and taking exception to Pakistan repeatedly trying to blame terrorism on its soil on Afghanistan, saying that Afghanistan is the one that is harboring and sheltering. Now, this was a convenient game that's been played, and I think Taliban is calling the shots on this and saying that no longer. Now, in the past, very conveniently, Pakistan, in the guise of aiding the Taliban and its fight against the Americans, had said that they will park some of their own jihadi outfits, Tanzeems, in those border areas with the Pakistan border in the Nangarhar province in Afghanistan. But now I think it's Pakistan, the Taliban government very clearly taking exception. And what they have highlighted is significant, that Taliban has an ongoing fight with the Islamic State or the ISIS elements operating on Afghanistan soil, and they clearly see them as adversary. But if they have neutralized 18 such Islamic State terrorists, and all of them largely have had Pakistani identities, then clearly Afghanistan now saying that who's fomenting terror on whose soil is something that Pakistan needs to answer for. The other thing is that this entire game of terrorism, this industry of terrorism, which the Pakistani military establishment has openly patronized and helped in the garb of trying to help one against the other, sometimes the Americans, sometimes the Chinese, and sometimes its so-called proxy war against India. It is coming back to bite itself, because now a lot of these jihadis are turning back at the military establishment and demanding a share of their own pie. The involvement of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan in trying to influence elections if it happens, and also stoking the unrest on ground, and the charges that have been made that it is in cahoots with the PTI or has enjoyed Imran Khan's patronage, these are all there in public domain. So for Pakistan to turn around and blame Afghanistan is quite rich. That's what Zabihullah Mujahid is saying we are minding the affairs within our soil and we are neutralizing threats to our system within our soil. Don't blame us. You do what is required to secure your own defenses, and clearly taking a jibe that a nation that's in penury, still about 26 to 28% of its budget is accrues to the armed forces. And the IMF has also taken exception that a large part of the army expenses are still being borne by the civilian state under civilian expenses. These changes were made under Pervez Musharraf. So clearly, Afghanistan saying we are not going to take it lying down every time you try and badmouth us. We're going to come back and give it back to you hard, and that too with proof. This clearly drawing the wedge perhaps a little deeper between Pakistan and Afghanistan, despite what's happened 2 years ago.
All right, Anand, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us all of those very significant